Okay, I've decided to do something about some tutorials about debating. There's so much I can cover on the topic of debating. I could do hundreds of videos. As many people who debate me and talk to me about this stuff realize I wouldn't know where to begin. But I thought I'm going to show you something really cool about debating. Just some really simple and really cool. Now, a lot of people accuse me of being a lot of different things. And one of those things I get accused of is being a bot or a robot or a Terminator from the future and stuff like that. But I get called a bot. Now, sometimes that can actually be partially true. So when you're debating with people, I know I own the whole deck of arguments. I own every card. I know how every card works. I can checkmate in one move virtually every one of my opponents. Some other opponents, when they provide people who are actually reasonable, I have to go through a sequence of arguments and events in an algorithm to get them to the point of conclusion to realize that I'm right. But most people who try to debate me, they talk in circles. They just jump from one bullshit claim to another. And what you do is you hold them to a claim. Now, there are tactics in debate that are pretty easy to learn. Mostly, you just need some mental discipline and common sense and maturity. And you have discussions with people, and you learn how to communicate. Now, Donald Trump, he said during the election campaign, he even said that, like, I know how to argue, I know how to beat these people, and I know how to beat them at their own game too. The more they attacked him, the more they accused him, the stronger he would become, and the more upset they would get, and everything they did backfired, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And the stronger he became, and the weaker they became, the more they did it. Everything they threw at him hit them in the face, and only made him stronger. Now, Donald Trump is not some massive genius on this matter. He just understands some basic ideas about debating and discussion and fighting these people who engage in these fallacies. So there's plenty of people, there's plenty of examples of people doing this all the time. I was going to look up one example. I'll just look it up on YouTube. Just check if I'm recording, if I press the record button properly. Yep. Okay, now there's one example. Tommy Robinson called a racist by a Muslim. No, I don't know. I can't find it, I don't think. It's a really good video. I was thinking of this Tommy Robinson's video where he's making a superior argument. Right? This is just an example of how you do this. He's making a superior argument. His critics panic. He's exposing their lies and their hypocrisy, that they're completely full of shit. And what they do, they call him a racist. Common thing that liars do. They'll just call you a racist, and Islamophobe, a homophobe, this ist, that ist. I'll call you silly names. And they'll use generic things like racist. So they call him a racist, and he says, I'm not a racist, and then he goes back to the point. He says, look, this is blah blah blah, true. And they won't deal with the point, because they know that if they face it, it's checkmate. They're screwed if they face it. So what they do is they jump out of the way, and they throw in a random accusation that has nothing to do with what was said. They just try and smear you, throw shit at you. And then they jump for another thing, that instead of, if you say that, no, I'm not a racist, and you try and argue that you're not, they'll jump to another, they'll call you something else. And they'll just make some random claim about something that's not true. And before you can pin them up on that, they'll jump to something else. And they just jump from one thing to another. Now, what you need to do with these people is you choose preferably the first lie they make. If not, if there's another lie that's more important, then choose that lie, preferably something very early on. It's important they do something early on, because they might bring up an earlier argument, and they'll have a justification for diverting. But what you do is you hold your ground, you choose something early on, preferably the first lie they make, and you hold them on it, and you demand they answer the question. You keep going back, they keep calling you stuff, you say, no, I'm not that. We can deal with that in due time. For now, answer the first question. Deal with the matter at hand. Stop diverting. Stop making excuses. Stop lying. answer the damn question. And you hold them on that point, and every time they refuse to answer, the truth becomes more obvious, and they fall on their flat on their face every time. Now, liars and hypocrites will do this in circles. There's specific common fallacies that you use, like ad hominem, ad populum, ad ignoramus. There's a whole bunch of common fallacies that people pull. And you need to realize that they're actually going in a circle. There's a hole in their logic, and they're jumping over the hole, and they're going around in a circle. They're going around it in a circle. Now, when you argue in a circle with someone, where they go around in a circle with faulty logic, circular logic, and they whatever they do, they refuse to answer the question. That question, the answer to that question, is the hole in the middle of that circle. Now, they may seem like they're going around in a circle, but they're not. What they're doing is it's eating them up inside. They're humiliating themselves every step of the way because they won't answer a simple damn question. And they realize that anyone who knows nothing about the topic, will see that they're being asked a simple question, and for some bizarre reason, they refuse to answer a simple question. And that simple question is an accusation they made. So it's like, this person accused someone of something. The victim says no, prove it, answer, and they ask the question like, show me a single example of me ever being racist. And if they eventually do, you can refute them. Yeah, that's another story. It's easy, you can refute them, but they won't answer the question because they know that you know how to deal with their answers if they're bullshit answers when they answer. They know that you have the upper hand and that they're checkmated if they answer. So they just divert and run away and run around this circle, around the hole. Now, while they argue in a circle, they're actually spiraling inwards, closer and closer towards the hole. It's eating them up. It's eating them up inside. Now, sometimes it takes hours of arguing in a circle, but they will suffer intensely. Their ego will suffer intensely, and it's eating them up inside, and there's algorithms messing up things in their head. So when they argue in a circle, now people accuse me of being a bot because I repeat things. Now, I repeat bringing back to the question and stuff like that, and I deliberately engage in the circular argument, and bringing it back to the main point. So I have the same responses for the same accusations and stuff. So here's one answer, like one common answer. So let's say I'm arguing with someone, and it comes to repeating the same stuff, or having to repeat the same answer and question over and over again. Pretend this gibberish is the question. So every time they make the challenge and I need to respond with that answer, I just open a text file, write in the response, copy, go paste in the chat, and just copy and paste, and I get accused of being a copy and paste and all that, and I do copy and paste, but I do something more. I'll show you something really cool. So let's just say that's one argument. This is another argument. This is another argument. You basically build up on the fly. You just build up a database of different responses to different triggers, the different triggers they're doing. So you basically, as they go in a circle, you build up a list of every diversion and lie they make, and you just have an answer for every one. So why do this shit manually? I can show you how to automate this shit. Pretty much copy and pasting is basically, it is like a bot. I mean, a human is a bot, a biological automaton. Simple algorithms and code going in. Sometimes they go in a loop, sometimes they go towards a conclusion. And these people will not go to a conclusion. They'll purposely go in a loop to avoid the hole in their logic. So here's a list of responses to different things they say. You build it up during an argument. If you need to repeat yourself, then start building a specific list of what to say, or how to respond to specific things they say. You can do this across debates over a long time. You can build responses to specific arguments, and you can build a database in web page. I've done that myself. I've done all kinds of databases. This is why I can debate. I consult my own databases for responses to common questions and common fallacies. And I can automate all this shit. I can argue with someone all day with a bot and they wouldn't even notice. So this is one step in automating your responses to go through the algorithms of argumentations to save you having to write this shit out manually over and over again, and you can speed up your responses with things that you're going to say anyway. So you can open a text file or something and then you can build more complex databases as you like. Well, I'm going to show you a different way to do it. I suggest you do that way first and get into the practice of databasing and storing arguments in your head and on files and shit. So you learn. It's a good way to learn and database conclusions you've made and test ideas. So let's close this. What if we use IRC? I'll use my Anon IRC client. I'm going to open up 2 copies of it actually. Now I'll just connect to a random server. Let's just go to, my firewall's turned off, it doesn't matter because it's only me here. There's one. Let's connect again. Hopefully connecting twice at the same time won't cut me off. It sometimes does. You get spammed. Okay, let's go to the default channel, our channel, menu channel, sounds.
Communication is irrelevant.
It's playing in both of them, it doesn't matter. South Park. Cartman. Anyway, it's playing in both of them, that's why this is getting the double sound. I just got to remember which is which, because I'm going to do this code actively in one. You know what we'll do? We've already got up here some trigger, simple trigger and responses. So basically, the same with the text file. They say a certain thing, you respond with a specific response. So let's automate that shit. Let's go on no. Alright, now let's go to the start here. I'm not going to do anything complex. I'm not going to explain anything complex. I'm going to deliberately make this simple. Now here's, I'm going to redefine this. Trigger. Response. So, I'm going to explain this. On star, trigger, blah, blah, blah. Hang on, I'll just, define. Okay, on star, define, trigger, hash, response. I'm going to explain what this means. On star means on everything, on every interaction, on every user. I could define a specific user instead of star and respond to a specific user in a different way. And you can actually do, right there, if you want to do advanced AI unbotting and stuff like that, you can actually do that and really fill them. But this by default, have it on star, always have it on star. And basically you just copy this and then just copy, paste, and just do write another one. And it'll make sense in a sec. So on star, on everyone, define the context of what the trigger is, then define the trigger. That means channel, and that means response. So we're in the channel, we respond. So what we do on this, we'll retain it on, this is in IRC. Now if you can connect IRC to something like Discord or something, you can bot this shit and you actually do it in 2 accounts if you want. On text, hello, channel, where's message? I can't remember the, what was the, I think it's $ message or something. No, it's not $. Let's just, I'll just find one, I'll go to bot talk, I've got one, I can't remember how the code works. On message chan, that's it. I thought there was a $ in there somewhere. Channel sounds, oh no, where is it? Messages. I've got to find the one I was up, start up, voices, there we go. So, okay, message, so on text, when someone says text, hello, let's fix that up. When someone says hello in the channel, we message in the channel. The channel's the chat room. We message channel space hello, you. Or let's change this instead of hello. We'll do hello, $Nick. I think it's $Nick. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I haven't done this in a while. Hello. I'll say hello, Nick. And that Nick will actually be their username. So let's do that. Now I'm only doing basic stuff here. There's some really advanced stuff you can do. Let's say hello. Hello. I've actually got 2 bots running. Hang on. I've got to turn my bot off. You'll see. Bot talk on, bot talk off. I'll turn bot. I can start a bot war if I've got them set up in such a way that I can set a bot war. I should have that turned off by default anyway. Okay, let's do that again. If I'm on the right one. There we go. Hello, Terran01. If we go hi, it's not going to do anything because it's not a current. So what if I do hello, dude? Not going to trigger. So what if because we've just got simply the text hello. Well, this wildcard here, this star, it means on everything. So what we do if we do hello everything, anything that contains the word, starts with the word hello, and it says hello dude, that includes anything. It's a wildcard. So if I say hello dude, it's going to respond. Well, what if I say hello wildcard before? Now you want to put wildcards before and after usually on trigger responses, so that you can respond to conversations. So I say hello, my old friend, and he's going to say hello back. Pretty simple, yeah? Now it's going to respond automatically, and it's going to respond instantly. You can put timers on that to simulate someone typing. That's more complex. I'm not going to get into that because it's just going to confuse the fuck out of you. We're just going to do simple shit. So on text hello, we can just copy and we'll say, fuck. In fact, I'm not sure if it, fuck you too. Fuck you too, Nick. Now, I'm not sure if it's case sensitive. I don't think it is actually. Hey, fuck you, dude. Hello. Fuck you. See, it's triggering on the because I've got a wildcard before and after. So imagine if someone calls you an idiot. We'll use just the key. We can use a bunch of keywords or just singular keywords. Anything, there's a bit of an art form on picking up the right keywords. You don't want it to trigger too much on the wrong things to misfire, or you don't want it not to trigger at all. You have to, there's a balance. So I'll just make it simple. Idiot. Don't call. Just say they call you an idiot instead of responding to your question, and they're avoiding the question. So let's in that context, all right? Don't call me an idiot. Nick. Now I think you need to do a space before that dot. It's going to fuck it up. Don't call me an idiot. Nick. Username. I may very well be an idiot. I am not an idiot. But even if I was, it is irrelevant. I am still right, and you are, oh shit, sorry for the typos, are still wrong. Now if you combine different triggers, usually the first one triggers, so let's try that. We'll do fuck and idiot at the same time. Just, alright, we've got fuck and idiot at the same time. It should only trigger the, you are an idiot, fuckhead. Don't call me an idiot, Terran01. I'm not an idiot, but even if I was, it is irrelevant. I'm still right and you are still wrong. So if you're running an IRC client in your chat and they want to keep calling you an idiot, you can do an automated response. Now you can actually make it more complex than that. You can actually make it respond in a variety of different ways. You can randomize it. You can make 3 different responses or 100 different responses to the same trigger word. But let's not. You can do that, but let's not make that complex. We're just going to make it simple. You can get into that another time. We're just using. Whoops, wrong one. but just using basic trigger and responses. So we've got fuck, idiot. Let's make it different. Don't swear. Don't swear at me, Nick. Answer the damn question. So let's say they're calling you a douche. Don't call me silly names, not Nick. Answer the damn question. Well, what we can do, let's make a sound. Let's go, oh no. Now, let's see if I got this right. We'll do idiot. Now, what you do is you do a space and you do shift and the straight line symbol underneath backspace. And then you do sounds. Now, what will happen, if I've done this right, you are an idiot. Yeah, we made it play a sound. We can trigger a sound to let you know that they've triggered a keyword. And you can do a different sound for each keyword. So let's actually just add a sound. We'll add a sound to them all. I don't want to make this too complex. Oh shit, I just fucked that up. What have I done? Uh-oh. What have I done? Okay. I don't know what just happened. I just went everywhere. I think I'm alright. I don't know if I accidentally added extra code everywhere. Something weird went wrong. We'll see in a sec. Something's wrong. Something's not copy and pasting. Yeah, something's wrong. Let's cancel that. Don't save. I don't know what just went wrong. I might have a RAM issue. I'm not sure. Okay, we fixed it. Just opened it all up. I don't know what just happened there. So every time they swear, every time he triggers, it says, oh no, gives me a warning. Hey, idiot. Fuck you. Gives you a different sound for different ones if you want. You're a douche. Don't call them silly names, Aaron. Answer the damn question. So you can do these in seconds on the fly, and you can build trigger words, and you can actually build up your bot, and you might call it, some might call this an AI, or more complex stuff you call an AI, but I like to call this AI a low-level AI. Simple trigger and responses. Now, if someone's repeating in cycles and they won't answer the damn question, just you can bot this shit and build up a list of trigger words. And you can just do that 100 times with all different trigger words. So idiot, fuck, douche. Just think of any keywords they're saying in their discussion, any keywords, any topic they're mentioning. So let's say they keep bringing up sports cars. We'll just do... Now, car's a bit tricky because there might be a word cart or cartridge, which is rarely going to get used. So if you're just a 3-letter word, it's going to be tricky because you might actually get some false positives. But let's just say that does anyway. Cars are irrelevant to the topic. You don't even have to do Nick, but that just makes it more customizable. But you don't need to put their name in it. Cars are irrelevant to the topic. Stop diverting with red herring fallacies and answer the damn question. So, sports cars are cool and you aren't. And fuck you. So, fuck you won't trigger because sports cars will trigger first. Whoops. What have I done? I think I've... Car. Let's just test that. I don't know what I just did there. Car. Car, fuck. Okay, it's triggering fuck for some reason. Oh, that's why. I know what I've done. Fuck is before car in this list. So it triggers the it triggers the first one on this list and it disables the second one. That's all. That's all it is. Sports cars are cool. You aren't cool. You stink. Cars are irrelevant to the topic, Terran01. Stop diverting with red herring fallacies and answer the damn question. Now, if you're really tricky, you can build on this concept, and you can simulate typing with adding timers to make it delay the response. It's like you're typing, just like you're typing, and you can. I'll show you an example. You can build. This is something I did in a single afternoon. I did a lot more than this in a single afternoon, but let's turn the bot talk on. Just to show proof of concept, real simple concepts that I made in my IRC client. Let's delete that shit that I just did. Wrong one. It's that one. Let's just delete all that. Simple, just a copy and paste a simple line. This is just one line of code. Okay, hello. Hello. So he's saying he's got random of three different randomized. Where's the other one? Come on. Come on, trigger the third one. Yo, hey, hi. How are you? How are you? How are you? There's only three, you can do 100. So it just randomizes between three different responses. So what if we piss him off? Fuck you. You've pissed me off. Well, now he's in a different mood, and I've actually got that coded in the menu bots, bot talk on, and it's got mood swing, mood neutral on. This one's on neutral. He's not angry. His neutral's on and his angry is off. Well, this one, his angry will be on and his neutral will be off. If you have both on, he'll respond to both, but watch. So his angry's on and his neutral's off. He's angry. So what? Hello, we speak normally. Bugger off. Look, he's got different moods. Hi. Hi. Don't say the same thing, respond differently. Fuck you. 3 different responses for each thing. Come on, show me the third one. I'm not talking. How are you? I'm fucking pissed off here. How are you? See, you can just... Now, if you did timers on this, and you had not 3, but just say 10. You do 100, but let's just say 10 randomized responses for each of these key words or key phrases. You wouldn't know that you're talking to a bot. You can automate your debates and arguments by building up a database on the fly and inserting automated responses. Instead of typing it out or copy and pasting, it's just one step above that. It doesn't matter if you type it out, you copy and paste it, or you bot trigger response it. It's all the same. It doesn't matter. It's still you providing the argument that you're making. You've just prepared your response. You're just automating that response. So I can do this shit in debate. I sometimes do, sometimes don't. Depends on the debate and depends on the place I'm in. But if you go in circles with me, I will likely just go into bot mode, automated mode, until you break out of it. And I can actually put on menu items and just say, okay, I can just type in bots, and I could just type in, I could make a menu item, debate under debates and debates. So I can have specific modes that I can turn on and off. I can say, okay, argument loop, swearing, this person's swearing. So I can just do swearing responses, so all these swear words, to bring them back on the topic. And I can specify the topic if I need to. I can make a file. I can be really tricky. I can make a file, and I can specify the name of the topic in that file, and I can make it automatically read that title. And I can just say, okay, bots arguments, choose topic choose topic, and I can just insert text. It's like this. So set custom server 1. It's just a simple input like this, and I could just say the topic is sports cars, and I can just refer to sports cars in the message. And you can do all this shit. So now that he's pissed off, I'm sorry. Sorry, I've only got perfect grammar set up here. Hello. He's back. Look, he's back. He's got it shallow like that. What if I say leave?
I will not be shut down.
Now, what if I piss them both off? I can start a bot walk because I've set this up to do this. Fuck you. Fuck you too. They're both pissed off. Well, let's start a bot war. We'll piss one off by farting on him.
Talk to the hand.
You will respect my authority. Sit down and shut up!
You're pissing me off.
How would you like to go see the school counselor?
Put a sock in it.
We'll make it stop.
Sit down and shut up!
I ought to break a broom handle off in your ass.
Dirty motherfucking...
I ought to break a broom handle off in your ass.
Alright, I said I'm sorry and they eventually stopped fighting. They just go on forever. There's probably about 30 different random abusive sound effects. They just spew shit at each other. That's what trolls do anyway. So I basically got the mind of a troll simply scripted into a bot. All this shit is simple to do. And you can build a database of responses to specific arguments that people make. And it's important to do that in debate. It's just a matter. This is just one step above that. The normal copy and paste stuff that people think is advanced is not. So if you're experienced at debate and you know the arguments, you're just running through the algorithms. You know that they're either going to go to it. There's going to be a specific point that they're either going to deal with the point and admit they're wrong, or they're going to do the loop in a circular reasoning and jump the whole of their logic. If you know how debate works, the human mind works, how logic works, how all this works. It's not that complicated. You need a bit of practice. You need to be able to know how to wield information and wield the sort of truth. But if the truth and morality are on your side, and just with a little bit of practice, and you get some courage up, you'll be able to do. I can make you ideologically immortal. Now imagine these concepts that I've just shown you here. Every time you're in a debate with someone, you are secretly building a database on that person, their arguments. You have a database already that you've built off previous arguments you've had with other people on the same topic. You have all the answers ready. You've got every card ready to respond to every one of their cards. You know their whole train of thinking. You know where they're going, where they're leading. You can know more about a person than they know about themselves in just a couple of lines of text. You can do things beyond your wildest imagination. Now, imagine if you take this idea of databasing and you make live trigger responses like I've just shown you. And you just progressively automate as you need to. And then if someone starts responding in the right way and dealing with it, you can just menu, switch that bot off, switch that response bot off, and you can build response bots or pre-programmed response bots to specific keywords, and you just turn them on and off. You can. I sometimes bot different things. I make bots and all kinds of shit on the fly. I don't rely on stuff that other people have built. I can make it on the fly. I can make a bot while I'm debating intricately debating someone. I'm always building a database of some sort in live time as I'm debating them. Any new input into the algorithm, I'll just add it to the algorithm. And most of this is just simple, but if you can do advanced stuff, you can do shit that will scare the shit out of people. And so I get accused of being a bot, and I'll admit that sometimes I will automate responses in a variety of ways. And I do it for a very specific reason. I hold them to the point. I don't let them avoid the consequences of making up lies. I hold them to the point and insist they provide evidence of their claim, their argument, their accusation. And the fact that they cannot, and they just go from one accusation to another, it just refutes them every step of the way. I said the other day, yesterday, it's like this. They're like a superhero who can teleport and throw lightning bolts at you. So what they do is they throw a lightning bolt, and before you can hit them back, they teleport to somewhere else, and then they throw another lightning bolt. They teleport, throw another lightning bolt. They just teleport lightning bolt. Simple tactic. They throw their own shit at you basically. They just change the topic and avoid and shift the goalposts and everything. They just change so that you can't take them down. You have the power to simply hold them on the point and maintain the point, and by simply maintaining the point and insisting they answer the question, you have held them down. They can't. You don't let them teleport. You have the power to stop them from teleporting, and every time they try to teleport they get struck by their own lightning. And people who do this circular reasoning bullshit, they are very stupid, but they know what they're doing. Deep down, they know what they're doing, and it fails them every step of the way. But they just keep doing it because they react automatically to their emotions, and it becomes less and less appealing, and it eats them up inside the longer they go. Even though their responses are the same, their mind is not operating the same. It's eating them away, and they're spiraling inwards towards the center of the whole of their own circular reasoning, the whole of their own logic. They fall in their own hole eventually, and they get really upset. And this is what trolls do. This is why I'm untrollable. Trolls get hugely upset. They try to upset me. I just run the algorithms, just do the things, and I can automate this shit if I need to. And trolls get hugely upset. They go in pretending to keep their cool, pretending to be emotionally and psychologically untouchable, and try to upset people. And they are the ones who end up getting upset, and they get so butthurt. They get an obsession. They obsessively attack you, and every step of the way it backfires, and they never fucking learn. And any onlooker will be like, holy shit, this person is so stupid. And this is the same thing that happened with Donald Trump in the elections. It's the same. This isn't some deeply mysterious concept. It's common sense. It's most people don't debate. They don't see this shit. They don't realize. And anyone can do all this. Auto name. Let me just check this. I don't mean to divide off topic, but I don't think I added this, did I? It's not working. Auto name on was, for some reason it's not working. I made an auto name which actually automatically changes your name every 5 seconds, and it's not working for some reason. I'm sure it's working. It's something wrong though. It might be the server that's blocking me from changing my name. That's probably why. Anyway, go back to my desktop. In fact, what you do when the bot's pissed off and if he's not pissed off and you tell him to leave, he'll leave and quickly come back, and he'll say, basically, I will not be shut down. And not today, Tarrant. If he's pissed off and you tell him to do that, he'll leave. He'll get pissed off and leave, and he won't come back. He'll just quit, and your whole client will close. But this is all basic shit that you can do. You can do yourself. I can show you how. If you get my Anonymous IRC client, you can do this stuff for yourself. You can see the code and just use the idea I just showed you. Simple trigger responses. So what was I going to say? Yep. Most people will get caught in the loop, and you just hold them to the false claim that starts their loop. Don't let them divert. Keep bringing them back to the point and insist they answer the damn question and deal with the point. And if there's proof, and then they later say, I've seen no proof, keep insisting. I keep showing you the proof. You keep denying the proof. Would you like me to show you the proof again? Don't deny it. Face it. Deal with it. If you have an argument, a premise, and evidence against it, then by all means provide it. But don't simply deny it and be blind and just choose blind ignorance. Hold the point. Any person who pulls these virtually every fallacy, they will be deliberately trying to avoid the point. ad hominem. They will engage in personal attacks and call you silly names to smear your credibility. They're diverting off topic from the point and trying to put the focus off put the spotlight off them and onto you, and then accuse you of all these horrible things and put that as the focus, as discrediting you. Simply say, I am not the thing you accuse me of. And even if I was the thing you accuse me of, it is irrelevant. I am still right and you are still wrong. You have not provided a single shred of evidence, no argument, no premise, no evidence. You are making baseless claims over and over again. Now, if you're going to accuse me of this thing, provide an argument, provide a premise, and provide evidence. You accuse me of, let's say, racism. You accuse me of being racist. Show me a single example of where I've ever said anything racist. As a racist, as an example. And just hold the point and know the right words to say and hold the point. And you'll defeat virtually everyone in debate just by that. On the small amount of people who will actually be honest and actually debate you properly, then you have some progress to do, and then you need to know the algorithms of argument, and you can test your ideas against them, and some progress can be made. And people who are reasonable, it sometimes can take hours. If you know the truth on a subject, and you know where the algorithms lead, and you know the answers and the conclusions, you give them maybe a few hours, they'll struggle, and they'll slowly get there. They'll slowly get there in the end and agree with you. It's done this countless times. Basically, they go in two directions. One, they either get stuck in a loop of fallacies, or they make progress towards the conclusion and they end up agreeing with you. Now, people who go in a loop of fallacies don't always stay there. Some of them won't yield, and they'll just run away. They'll eventually run away. If you're patient, they'll either run away or they'll start to be civilized and progress, and they'll actually eventually admit that they were wrong about that. And once those that do that, and they realize that you're not going to eat them like a big scary monster, that okay, we face that deal. Now let's deal with the point that follows that. And then you don't attack them. You don't call them silly names. They realize, hang on, he didn't attack me. And they don't feel like they need to defend themselves with lies anymore, and they feel they're more open. Once they get to that point, they're more open to being reasonable and admitting they're wrong about something, and they're more open. So you know the algorithms and where they lead. Now, when you do this stuff, circular argument, just be patient with it, and just keep insisting the point. If I only could find the Tommy Robinson one example of it, it's a good one. He was in an interview and he was called a racist, as people usually call anything to do with defending the white race. They call you a racist to try and shut you up and smear you. And so you say, this racism is a good example because it's common. So you say, where have I ever said anything racist? And they can't, because they know that if they try and accuse you, actually pinpoint anything you've said, they know that you can show them that it's not actually racist, that their definition of racism is false, and they're changing their definition every second. They're just making it up as they go. Someone who knows the proper definition of racism, and you can show that you're not being racist. You may appear to be racist according to real racists who see racism everywhere, but the people who call you a racist, they know they're stupid, but they know that they're fucked if they answer the question, and all they can do is run and throw shit at you, and you have the power to hold them down, and so they can't answer the question. They're fucked if they do that. So the only thing they can do is run away. If you don't let them run away, they're fucked that way as well. So they're fucked either way. It doesn't matter what they do, they're fucked. And they will defeat themselves and fall in their own grave every step of the way, every sentence they make, until their circle of lies and self-refutation and self-defeating nonsense becomes less appealing, and it eats them away, and they make one of two decisions. They either just run away, or they open up to progress. And even if they run away, you've made a dent in their mind, and you've basically put code and ideas in their mind that they can't escape from. They run away, but it's still eating them up, and it will always eat them up, and it won't go away. That's why a lot of these people, who you might call them trolls, a lot of these liars and hypocrites, when you defeat them like this, they will have the biggest grudge against you. They will hate you so much, and they know that they'll come and go calling you silly names, and that's all they do. They'll call you silly names and run away again, knowing that they're gonna get humiliated the moment they stay for a second, and they get so butthurt. And this is why I am untrollable, and so you can be untrollable too. You can be ideologically, psychologically immortal. It doesn't matter if there's one of them or a million of them. You can defeat them all in a single one checkmate move. You wield the sword of truth like a flaming sword. If morality and truth are on your side, and you just got a bit of practice and you understand some basics, you can defeat every single one of them in a single blow. And there's nothing they can do about it. And you can do it too. So just think of this automated response idea and what you can do beyond that. And if you copy that code into an IC client that I showed, just pause the video and write it in yourself and see how I did an S-Play to an MP3 file as well. If you want to put an MP3 file in a certain location to warn you that they're making that, or you just make a simple text response. And you can work out how to do, I can show you if you want how to do timers so that you can simulate a delayed typing response. But it's just best to start out, just do simple automated responses. If you do simple automated responses, then it's clearly you're botting. You are clearly botting, and they know you're botting, and they know that you're making it clear to them that you're botting. And it only humiliates them more. Because they know that you have a valid response to their bullshit, and their bullshit doesn't stay on the screen for even a second. So they don't get any instant gratification out of it. The moment they say it, they know they're going to get their ass kicked. Instant ass kick. No, they don't get any time for instant gratification. They don't have 5 seconds of screen time, nothing. Bang, they're hitting the ass every time. And it only humiliates them even more. There's so much I could talk about debating, and I just wanted to introduce at least a first video of debating, just to show a simple tactic of databasing. Start with doing a text file and opening a text file and just copying responses to basic things, and when they go into a loop, just repeat the same response, and from there use my NonIRC client, and which is a mod of Merc. It uses the same language as Merc, MIRC. You can automate your own responses and go from there. So I'll finish the video. I could just talk out for hours on this, but I'll finish the video, and I might do others on other videos on debating and even more scripting in Merc and stuff like that too. But just think of this idea and what you can do with it. Just a simple idea, a simple line of text, just repeat and add to the database. And the whole idea of starting off with a preset database of memes and responses in your head or on text or on web pages or whatever. You always have a database. You know where the algorithms of argument lead, and you start off with that database empty-handed, and then you build up as you go. You build up a database on that person or in their arguments, and you just automate that shit. Copy and paste if you need to, or bot that shit. All right, stopping the video.